Yes, you read the title correctly. They are not that bad, and we need to apologize for dragging their name through the mud. Yes, their base form kinda sucks, but if you can play around him for 3 turns, having Goku is absolutely worth it. Now, before you dislike the video and drop a hate comment, please hear me out. This unit is very unique and very cool with an interesting mechanic unlike Evo Vegeta. So just give me less than 10 minutes of your time to explain why you shouldn't be sad that you spent your stones on this guy, and to prove myself, here's a video of me using my pity coins to buy this unit. I'm also going to give you guys some of the best units for their team a bit later into the video, so if you don't want to hear me explain why this unit is good and that's all you care about, skip ahead to this timestamp. First and foremost, we need to acknowledge that Dokkan is changing and some units are meant only for certain types of events. Not every unit is going to be good in every event. Like, take a look at Beast Gohan. He's one of the best units in the game, but still, the second event started to go on longer and hit even harder, people started to turn on him and say he's washed. Obviously, it's not true since Beast is still the best slot 1 by a long shot. His issue is that when you bring him for a 27 turn fight, of course he's going to struggle when his buffs wear off. He's made for shorter fights where he can essentially be the perfect tank while dishing out key support and massive damage. Frieza and Goku are the opposite. They generally benefit from a longer fight with like for example, the recent Universe Survival Saga Red Zone that starts off with a Bergamo fight, then goes into Kale, then a Kefla, then a Jiren, and then into a full power Jiren. In a fight like that, Beast Gohan unfortunately is out of his bonus damage reduction by the time you're on the 2nd or 3rd phase. Meanwhile, Frieza is able to exchange with Goku and have a solid enough defense for the rest of the fight. I think Frieza's design is just to hide him and buff allies until Goku can join in. Goku has all the defense you could need for the rest of the fight, allowing you to save the abilities of the powerful units for later on in the fight. I believe Goku and Frieza is the first time Dokkan has actually tried to implement a unit with a skill, or rather strategy gap in their kit. I would definitely build this unit with full dodge and defense equips though, since that's what is optimal for their playstyle. I think the devs were definitely trying to do something unique, but the community met it with such negativity that we might never see it again. The community would obviously prefer a completely busted unit since it's much more player friendly and way more fun when you can use a unit for any type of content in the game. The main issue is that this was an underwhelming release for an anniversary unit and a hype moment in the show. I feel like if this unit came out later during a smaller event, people wouldn't have cared as much. Sure, it still would have got hate for the conditional defense and damage reduction, but would be looked at in a different light. This unit's reputation was tarnished instantly since it was put up against events that it was not made for. And yes, I know someone's gonna be like, well, you can say that about any unit if you put it up against an infinite Dragon Ball history stage or a Legends fighting stage. That's obviously not what I mean. I'm talking about new high difficulty level events that have longer designed fights. I think as long as there's long fights in the game with a reasonably slow start, Frieza and Goku is a top option. In these scenarios, they go from a top 30 to a top 15 pick, especially on a Tournament of Power or Universe Survival Saga team. They also support 77% for 2 turns, which is really good. Yes, it's bad that it goes away, but after you turn into Goku, you're essentially never going back to Frieza for the rest of the fight. And really quick, I just want to go over some of the best allies for Frieza and the teams he's on. And shout out to Minato's Flash for putting me onto some of these units. You probably see them in the gameplay in the back, but if not, it's because my footage wasn't ready in time. Now, firstly and most surprisingly, as an emergency pick, this SSJ Goku makes a lot of sense to run on this team. The HP conditions can be a bit iffy, but low-key, he works really well with this Frieza. Minato made a great point saying that this Goku can help Frieza get his damage reduction since he survives KO attacks with 1 HP and dodges all attacks for the rest of the turn, and then heals to 59% HP. So next turn you get the damage reduction. Me personally, I don't need to jump through those hoops since I have all the units I want, but if you don't or just want to try something different, this guy is a solid option. And subscribe and like the video if you made it this far. Now, my next pick for the team is Easy A LR Full Power Frieza. This is the perfect slot 1 and linking partner for Frieza, plus helps him get his 2 additional supers per turn if you have another extreme type unit on the rotation. This Frieza has amazing defense and can hit incredibly hard multiple times a turn and doesn't have issues with ki. Sure, he loses guard after his first turn, but he greatly stacks defense on ultra super attacks, making it an almost trivial loss. Also, I'm using AGL Jiren in this gameplay if I'm gonna post my Frieza gameplay, but he's a pretty solid pick for this team too. Another solid pick for this team is the new Great Ape Vegeta EZA. My only problem with this unit is that he has god-awful links. Besides that, this card is a masterpiece and super valuable as a slot 1 for this team. He makes up for his poor links with amazing stats. In slot 1, he's like Beast Gohan minus the problem of not being good in long fights. He doesn't stack defense, but honestly he doesn't need to. He just becomes slightly more tanky after supering as if it matters. And let's not forget about his great ape form, essentially a get out of jail free card if you are below 40% HP. Also, this Vegeta is an extreme type, so he helps Frieza get his 2 additional supers as well if he's on rotation with another extreme unit. So there's already 2 amazing slot 1 units on this team to help Frieza. The next unit is Teen SSJ2 Gohan. Either one works. The INT one has a pretty solid kit with some great damage and solid defense with dodge sprinkled on as an extra insurance. But the physical 10th anniversary LR Gohan is much better since he's like top 3 when it comes to hard hitting units. He literally puts up 50 million when he feels like it and 20 to 30 million normally, and I only have him at 55%, and he tanks really well on top of it all. He's not Beast Gohan level, but he's not gonna die to normals, and he might even live most supers. Then we have the 3 monkeys on the Frieza team, the GT duo, because they literally do it all. Insane stats, they're invincible on turn 1, and when they transform, making them an easy slot 1 in that difficult turn 1 situation or whenever you may need it. And once Gogeta comes out, it's GG. He does so much damage and can nullify supers with a powerful counterattack, all while creating rainbow orbs with an ultra powerful active skill in his back pocket. And the other monkey on the team is obviously SSJ4 Goku, since he just buffs the damage reduction of power beyond Super Saiyan and Giant Ape power, as well as giving them extra 70% defense. He's got the Giant Ape form for free damage and invincibility for a turn, but honestly, the more I use him, the more I appreciate how intuitive his kit really is with the dodge in first form and stacking in his SSJ4 form. Battle of Fate is a really good team as of now and shouldn't be slept on, especially now that I've enlightened everyone about Go Frieza. But anyways, let me just real quick go over Frieza and Goku again. The main hardships of this unit is that you have to go through quite a bit of stress to get Goku out, but after that it's smooth sailing and the active skill is pretty solid too. This unit isn't an outstanding OP card that joins the fight at max power. It's a unit that has specific and somewhat niche usage. I don't mind units like this, especially if they're unique, as long as they serve a purpose. This unit does serve a purpose and it can accomplish the goals it needs to. I think we as a community have become far too obsessed with units that are instantly good on defense, since almost every hard event since Merged Zamasu has accustomed us to needing crazy defense just to compete. The thing about Goku and Frieza, specifically Frieza, is that he is most definitely a glass cannon for those 3 turns. He doesn't deserve hate beyond the lack of defense though. He's got a solid kit that tries to make up for it with useful abilities like stun. This once again takes us back to my main point of using this unit in the right situations. I'm not sure, but some longer fights might allow the boss to be stunned in early phases, and if they don't, that's complete BS, and I hope future hard content allows stun at least for the first or second phase. I'm sure eventually there will also be a case where you can run Frieza on a team with all extreme units, making him even better, since he can guaranteed get the 2 extra additional supers in a rotation with 2 extreme allies without any worry of unlucky rotations. This means he's got the potential for 4 or more total supers in a turn, which is like minimum 200% extra defense and 400% extra attack. Anyways guys, I hope I've helped you all become more positive about this unit, especially if you were sad that this is the only or one of the only units you pulled this anniversary. And if you made it this far, subscribe and maybe check out some of my other videos that should be on screen right now. Thank you all so much for watching.